On the corner of 25 West Main Street in downtown Vermilion. The spot, Winnie Mays, is proud to support programming on Coyote News. The spot, Winnie Mays, providing salon and spa services. On the corner of 25 West Main Street in downtown Vermilion. The spot, Winnie Mays, is proud to support programming on Coyote News. The spot, Winnie Mays, providing salon and spa services for men, women, and children.
Coming up on Coyote News, flags are at half-staff on campus.
Plus, an interview with Arizona Cardinal Chris Streveler. Coyote News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Delaney Nellis.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Good evening, I'm Delaney Nellis.
And I'm Philip Larson. Governor Kristi Noem's calling for the Attorney General to resign. Videos of the investigators' interviews have been released to the public. We'll have that story and more, but first.
On Monday, President Joe Biden has ordered all flags on federal property to be lowered to half-staff for 5 days. This order is to commemorate over 500,000 American deaths due to COVID-19. This totals to more than both the World Wars and the Vietnam War combined.
People we lost were extraordinary. They spanned generations. Born in America, immigrated to America. But just like that, so many of them took their final breath alone in America.
The U.S. is passing the 13-month mark from the first reported COVID-19 case. Phil, what's going on with this warmer weather?
Well, Delaney, the Arctic chill of last week, after the Arctic chill of last week, I think this is a nice change of pace. Right now, it's a partly cloudy 43 degrees outside, with the low for tonight being 24 with a chance of scattered snow showers. Tomorrow should be partly cloudy as well, bringing a high near 45 degrees and a low of 30. Friday brings a high of 47 degrees and a low of 27. This weekend should be on the warm side. Saturday, there's a high of 47 degrees and a low of 22 with some partly cloudy skies. And that is all for your Coyote weather.
Governor Kristi Noem is calling for the Attorney General to resign, and the House of Representatives is considering an impeachment measure. This following a September fatal crash. Yesterday, the state of South Dakota released the investigators' interview of Attorney General Jason Ronsberg. Coyote News' Caitlin Sterling is live in the muck to learn more. Caitlin?
Thanks, Delaney. I'm here live in the muck with political science professor Michael Card. Thank you so much for being here today, Michael.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, of course. All right. So Governor Noem's calling for the Attorney General to resign. If he doesn't resign, there's already a measure before the State House calling for his impeachment. Has that ever happened in South Dakota before?
There has been no impeachment of a state official in South Dakota to date. It came close in 1935 when Governor Tom Berry was threatened with impeachment for the way that he handled a strike at the then named Morel plant in Sioux Falls.
Do you think lawmakers support the impeachment?
Well, the impeachment resolution was introduced by Will Mortensen, a USD graduate, and it is co-sponsored by the majority leader and the minority leader in the House, so it's bipartisan, so there's a considerable amount of support for it.
If the Attorney General does resign or does get impeached, has the governor mentioned any possible replacements for him?
No, she has not, to my knowledge. It probably is premature to do that before his resignation, if he does decide to do that, or before the House votes on impeachment and the Senate holds a trial and convicts.
All right, thanks again for your time, Professor Card.
Thank you.
Live in the muck for Coyote News, I'm Caitlin Sterling.
The annual Unite for USD Giving Day event was held in the muck pit and raised over $1.6 million. Coyote News' Kyle Zimmer talks more on this annual day of giving.
The third annual Unite for USD event kicked off on Thursday, February 18th, and went on for 1,862 minutes. Director of Alumni Engagement, Alyssa Med, helped organize the event and says that she is overwhelmed by the support.
I've been involved with it for all 3 of these years now, and it's kind of funny how it seemed to almost double in terms of participation each of these years. And this year we have some already a tremendous showing of support.
Student organizations also took part in trying to get as many donations as they can, with all proceeds going to Charlie's Cupboard.
We have a total of 11 different Greek houses who are participating and a total of 12 different student organizations that are also participating.
Organizations that do get the most donations have the opportunity to win up to 4 hours worth of InDesign from the USD's marketing on behalf of participating.
For Coyote News, I'm Kyle Zimmer.
Thanks, Kyle. Unite for USD had over 1,558 donors, with most of the donations coming from the Beacom School of Business, with over $70,000.
Recycling at USD is encouraged more than ever recently, with recycling bins available in 31 of the 40 on-campus buildings. USD is currently participating in the Campus Race to Zero Waste, a national competition with the purposes of raising awareness about waste reduction, including recycling. Anna Moore, USD's Campus Recycling Coordinator, says the goals for this competition are to raise awareness for recycling and to get students to recycle consistently.
We also want to help everybody recycle better by learning the specific guidelines of what can and cannot go in the recycling bins to make sure that we decrease the amount of contamination.
Students can participate in the Campus Race to Zero Waste by recycling correct materials into any of the green and yellow bins around campus. You can find more information about what materials are recyclable at millenniumrecycling.com.
Coming up on Coyote News, tax return season is upon us.
This is Coyote News.
ID Week's library is not only filled with books, it's a place of knowledge, creativity, and art. One of the current installations located on the second floor is a stratocumulus cloud made out of withdrawn library book pages and silver foil. The artwork's called The Sky Above, after the title of a chapter in one of the books. This site-specific piece was designed by the director of University Art Galleries, Amy Phil, who is also a member of the Cloud Appreciation Society. The society calls clouds nature's poetry.
Spring is approaching, and so is the tax return deadline. Filing tax returns alone can be a complicated and frustrating task. Coyote News' Abby Kaup talks about the program that assists people with their tax return.
VITA, which stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, is a program that helps people with various tax issues. Ramon Ortiz, Director of Experiential Learning at the School of Law, offers advice to students who are struggling with their taxes.
To please give us a call through the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program that we run at the Knudson School of Law if they have any questions. And specifically, if they have a question for the stimulus payments, if they have a question under 1098Ts and what income is taxable and is not taxable.
VITA volunteers are independent of the IRS and can answer people's questions about their tax forms. Jacob Carson, a VITA coordinator, says that the volunteers have a lot of training to assist people with complex tax issues.
And so people who are nervous or don't understand their taxes can come to us and get their taxes done, stay in compliance with the IRS, and not have to worry about, did I mess them up? Did I do them wrong? Is something terribly wrong? We can just give them peace of mind in that regard.
People can access VITA services at the Vermillion Public Library. VITA volunteers will be present at the library on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 5 to 8 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays from 1 to 4 p.m.
The services are available to anyone, with the only limitation being an income threshold. The rough estimate is about $56,000 annual income for single individuals and increases with family size. For answers to your tax questions, contact VITA.
The State Health Department reports 163 new COVID-19 cases and 1 death from the last 24 hours. The latest fatality brings the state's death toll to 1,864 people. South Dakotans have died in February so far. Active cases are down to 1,891. Hospitalizations are up to 102 people. Roughly 22% of people in the state have received their first doses of the vaccine. About 10% have completed the full vaccine series.
Coyote News' Rachel Pekosh is live in the muck to learn more about the benefits of wearing 2 masks. Rachel?
Thanks, Delaney. I'm here with USD's leader of COVID-19 task force, Kevin O'Kelly. So Kevin, what can you tell me about the upcoming availabilities of vaccinations to our student, staff, and faculty?
Well, Rachel, as you've heard, South Dakota is doing a great job of vaccinating its population. Right now in Clay County, we're in category 1D, which means we're vaccinating people that are age 65 and older right now. Healthy adults 65 and older. When that category is done, then we'll be starting on college, staff, faculty, and employees, and some certain students, particularly students who work at the university. We have a lot of people age 65 and older in Clay County, and we have to get through them first. We have a certain given allotment per week for our county. So I would estimate it'll be a couple of more weeks before we start getting vaccinated, us.
Okay, and while we wait for those vaccinations, there has been talk about wearing 2 masks being more beneficial than just 1 mask. Can you tell me about these benefits?
Well, wearing 2 masks can be useful, Rachel, but let me start at the beginning. We're all gonna get vaccinated soon, but we aren't yet. So until then, we do need to wear masks. Wearing any mask is better than wearing no mask. But I'll start by saying the bandana mask, while it's better than nothing, it's not great because it doesn't feel very well. Wearing a mask with 2 layers is ideal. So I wanted to show you this. This was the gaiters. Remember gaiters? Everyone was wearing it first?
Yes.
Gaiters are single layer. So if you wear a gaiter, certainly you want to double up on it. If you're wearing a surgical mask, don't double up on that. These surgical masks are the same material and they don't offer double the protection if you double them. But this mask, this is a 2-layer mask. It even has a room for a filter in between. You could add a 3rd layer in here that's like a double mask. But one of the best ways to protect yourself or others, say you're visiting grandma, and you want to be especially careful, would be to use a double mask. That is a surgical mask covered by a cloth mask. I think of it as Swiss cheese. Every slice of Swiss cheese has a hole in it, and the virus can go through. But if you take 2 layers of Swiss cheese, those holes are probably not going to line up, and you're going to be extra protected. One caveat, though, Rachel, if one of your masks is an N95, if you're fortunate enough to have these available, don't double up on these. This is enough. Okay? Other than that, you might consider wearing a double mask, particularly when you're around a vulnerable person.
And is wearing 2 masks something USD plans to implement soon, or what can community members as well as student, staff, and faculty expect going forward?
We're not going to mandate double masking. Double masking is something you should consider, particularly in certain circumstances. But even wearing a single mask with 2 layers of cloth is adequately protective, as we know because our case rate is down.
Awesome. Thank you for speaking with us today, Kevin.
You're very welcome.
Live in the Muck, I'm Rachel Petkosh.
Thanks, Rachel.
The first use of functional pottery vessels is thought to be found in 9000 BC. Since then, the practice has continued for both practical use and as an art form. Ceramics are generally made by taking mixtures of clay, earthen elements, powders, and water while shaping them into desired form and then firing them in a kiln. Michael Hill is a lecturer in the art department. He says that other forms of art were not enough for him.
You know, I just kept thinking about clay, and I think that's true with all artists. I think at the end of the day, you find something that when you go home and you sit down, you go, wow, that was really good. I want to do that again.
Hill also says that the internet is a great resource to learn more about ceramics and pottery. The Ceramics 1 class is available to all students, regardless of major. So Sierra, I heard that over the weekend, USD got a visit from an Arizona Cardinal.
That's right, Phil. Chris Struveler was in Vermilion. I'll talk about that and more when we come back.
The Honors Lounge is my favorite place to study on campus.
The Honors Lounge, located in Old Main, offers 24-hour access. With quiet study space, free printing, study snacks, and computer access. To join, contact the University Honors Program.
This is Coyote News.
Welcome back. I'm Sierra Prue, and this is your Coyote Sports. USD hosted a sold-out doubleheader on Saturday. Women tipped off first against Oral Roberts and ended the game with 5 Coyotes in double digits. Freshman Maddie Krull, freshman Morgan Hansen, sophomore Alexi Hemp, and senior Chloe Lamb were among the 5. Senior Hannah Shervin also claimed double digits, making it her 6th 20-point game of the season. South Dakota shot 47.3% from the field and 45% for threes. USD walked off the court with a 77-54 score win. Both teams returned to the court the following day. The Coyotes' annual Pink Game Day raised awareness for breast cancer. Before tip-off, senior center Hannah Shervin was honored for surpassing 1,000 career points in her 4 years with the Coyotes. Shervin led the Pink Game with a double-double as she posted 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Freshman guard Maddie Krull posted her 4th consecutive double-digit game with 14 points and a pair of steals. Chloe Lamb provided 12 points, followed by Alexia Hemp with 9. The Golden Eagles fell to the Coyotes in a final score of 76-54. The men's basketball team followed the women in play against Oral Roberts. On the court were the top 4 scorers in Summit League. For the Coyotes, Stanley Amude and AJ Plitzawhite. For the Golden Eagles, Kevin O'Borner and Max Obnis. Xavier Fuller played consistently throughout the game and ended with a career-high 22 points. Fuller started the team off in a first minute and a half, putting the Yotes up 7-0. At one point, Oral Roberts tied the Coyotes 84-84 in the second half, but 2 good free throw shots by Plitzawhite put the Coyotes up by 2 with 2 seconds on the game clock. Obnis, the nation's 2nd leading scorer, made one last 3-point shot from directly behind the arc, bouncing just off the rim and out, but it wasn't enough. The Yotes claimed an 86-84 victory. The men's Sunday game was canceled when USD announced a positive COVID-19 test from a staff member. The women's and men's basketball teams are returning to the SCSC this Saturday and Sunday for a doubleheader against North Dakota. The men are battling for first place in the Summit League. The Coyote volleyball team swept North Dakota State in a pair of games on Monday and Tuesday in Vermilion. The Coyotes picked up the 4-set victory Sunday night and a sweep of NDSU Monday. In Sunday's Pink Game, junior Madison Harms broke her own school record with 11 blocks. The Coyotes won the first 2 sets 26-24 and 25-19 before dropping the third set 26-24 and winning the final set 27-25. Monday's game featured a career night for junior Maddie Weidmanfeld, who tallied a career high of 13 kills in the 3-set sweep. The Coyotes won by set scores of 25-14, 25-16, and 25-13. The Coyotes are now 6-4 on the season and 5-1 in Summit League play. USD faces South Dakota State Sunday at 5 and Monday at 7. A weekend in Brookings against South Dakota State ended with victory for many Yotes on the USD track and field teams. The Summit League Athletes of the Week included senior Ethan Bray, freshman DeMar Francis, and freshman Sarah Reinrath. For pole vaulter Ethan Bray, he showed up and showed out at the last chance meet and hit a lifetime best by vaulting 18 feet 6.5 inches, ranking first in Summit and fourth in the NCAA. Running the 400-meter, DeMar Francis clocked a 47.51-second win, moving him into the top of the Summit League and ranking him 55th in the nation. Sarah Riffenrath returns as the Summit League Track Athlete of the Week after capturing a 24.38-second 200-meter win, followed by a win in the 400-meter race. Track and field will return to Brookings along with other conference teams to compete in the Summit League Indoor Track and Field Championship. USD Soccer was away this past weekend in Kansas City with a 2-game schedule. Coyotes had Saturday to collect themselves after the final minute 3-2 loss on Friday. Head coach Michael Thomas led the team to their first win on Sunday. The Coyotes came out aggressive and freshman Taylor Ravello put the Yotes in the lead within the first minute and a half of play, marking her first goal of the season and 4th fastest goal time in program history. This was the first of the 5 goals for the Coyotes in their 5-0 shutout win against Kansas City. The Coyote football team's playing at the Illinois State Saturday. The Yotes haven't played competitively in 462 days after the season postponements caused by COVID-19. This weekend, the team travels to Hancock Stadium to face the Redbirds. The starting lineup for the offense includes all returning players except for one position, quarterback. This is the first time in Bob Nielsen's USD head coaching career that he hasn't announced a starting quarterback prior to game week. The Coyote defense is led by Missouri Valley Conference honoree Jack Cochran. Running back Kai Henry is 81 rushing yards away from reaching 2,000. Kai's 2019 rushing average was 72.5 per game. The teams meet for the first time since 2017 Saturday with kickoff at noon. A former Coyote quarterback aided in the effort last week for Unite for USD. His appearance during the fundraiser was just part of why he was back in Vermillion. I had the chance to talk with the former quarterback to learn more of his story. I am here in the Dakota Dome where former quarterback Chris Streveler has come back to make an appearance. He now currently plays in the NFL for the Arizona Cardinals. Since graduating from USD in 2018, Streveler spent 2 seasons in the Canadian Football League, where he helped the Winnipeg Blue Bombers win a Grey Cup trophy in 2019. Following the Grey Cup win, Streveler was signed by the Arizona Cardinals.
It's been a whirlwind, but it's really has truly been a dream come true. You know, I mean, as a kid, grow up dreaming about getting the opportunity to play professional football, whether it be in Canada or in the NFL, and then to get to, you know, realize that dream has really been special for me.
Streveler spoke with the Coyotes football team about his experience and what it took to achieve his goal of joining the NFL. He says it's all about focus.
So for me, it's really just about being focused and being locked in and just worrying about, you know, being focused on what you have to accomplish at that time, whatever your role is, whether it's, you know, being on the sideline, going in for a quarterback sneak, or stepping in for an injured Kyler. Just want to be focused on what you got to accomplish and not try to be too overwhelmed with, you know, the whole situation. So that was really my mindset.
Reporting for Coyote News, I'm Sierra Prue. Streveler will continue to play for the Cardinals next season. That's all for your Coyote sports. Still to come on Coyote News, what side of TikTok are you on?
I like shooting live because you have a greater responsibility. You get to go out, get hands-on experience in the field, and you know it's leading you to something great for the future. I really like the teamwork and being able to communicate with people. We all know what jobs we're supposed to be doing, and we all know what needs to get done. There's something about being live outside of the studio. Being on your own, it's just a different energy. I like being part of a team and working together to get the perfect interview. I think it's worth it from all the experience and all the skills you're going to get from it. It definitely helps you break down some barriers and opens you up to new experiences.
PAVE is promoting awareness, victim empowerment. But it's more than that. PAVE is hope, community, inspiring, change, friendship, diverse, USD, understanding, important, dedicated, powerful. PAVE is shattering the silence of sexual violence.
This is Coyote News.
Quick, short-form entertainment is becoming essential in the fast-paced lives of students.
In this week's Out and About, we asked students what side of TikTok they find themselves on.
Here's what they had to say.
I guess dance TikTok, how about that?
Well, like I see a lot of like food TikToks.
Weird stuff in cosplay.
People are falling in ice right now.
Right now I'm on baking TikTok.
I'm on like the pumpkin side of TikTok where I keep on getting pumpkined.
I'm on no side of TikTok. I'm currently on classic rock, history, and Star Wars TikTok.
I would probably say fitness TikTok.
Sports side of TikTok, I guess.
Memes, basically.
I have all thirst traps on my feed.
People getting injured on my TikTok.
Probably like the frat boy side or like the e-boy side more.
Like Marvel TikTok, like Avengers and stuff.
I'm more on like the lifting, nutrition side.
I've still got a lot of driver's license. I liked one video and that's all my videos.
I don't have TikTok.
Republican.
Dancing and singing TikTok.
Like country, I guess.
Well, definitely funny stuff.
Food, comedy, and dance.
Probably gaming and hockey.
Dancing TikTok.
Science. I'm on like the astrology side of TikTok.
I am on the goat side of TikTok.
Star Wars memes.
On Monday, the Google Doodle was of Zikala Shah, also known by her missionary given name, Gertrude Simmons Bonin. Monday would have been her 145th birthday. She was a Yankton, Dakota writer, editor, translator, musician, educator, and political activist. Be sure to pick up this week's issue of the Volant out today, looking into the Vermilion Tanager boys basketball historic season.
That's all for Coyote News. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
And watch and listen for Coyote News daily updates throughout the week on KAOR and the Coyote News social media pages.
Thank you for joining us, and have a great night.